stop for a moment. Not because something dramatic is happening, but because something subtle already has. You didn't plan to pause here. You didn't search for this. And yet, here you are. That matters. Because certain moments don't arrive loudly. They arrive quietly, almost politely, testing whether you notice the shift or rush past it. Something has been rearranging itself around you lately, not externally at first, internally. You may have felt it as a heaviness lifting for no clear reason, or a calm appearing where anxiety usually lived, or a sudden awareness that some things no longer deserve your energy. That's not coincidence. That's alignment beginning. You didn't force it. You didn't chase it. You simply chose stillness once, when reacting would have been easier. And that single choice mattered more than you realize. In moments like that, attention becomes an invitation, and the unseen responds. There are changes that don't announce themselves with fireworks. They announce themselves with relief, with space, with quiet clarity. You've carried weight for a long time. Responsibility no one saw. Patience no one applauded. Strength that was required long before it was recognized. And yet, you kept going. That endurance didn't go unnoticed. What feels like waiting wasn't delay, it was positioning. Certain doors don't open through effort, they open through readiness. And readiness often looks like calm after chaos. You may notice small signals now, nothing exaggerated, just fitting. A message arriving at the right moment, a thought surfacing that makes sense immediately, a decision feeling lighter than expected. Those aren't random events, they're confirmations. When resistance fades, movement begins. And this movement doesn't rush you, it meets you where you are. You don't need to chase what's meant for you. What's aligned approaches naturally. Pay attention to how your body responds. Ease instead of tension, curiosity instead of fear, presence instead of urgency. That's how you know something is real. This phase isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to yourself, the version that trusts quiet over noise, clarity over control, truth over pressure. You're not behind, you're not late. You weren't forgotten. Things are beginning to move because you finally stopped forcing them. Stay with that stillness a moment longer. Let it settle. What comes next doesn't require struggle. It requires awareness. And you're already here. And this is where the shift becomes undeniable. Not because something explodes into view, but because you no longer feel the need to look back. You recognize yourself again. Not the version that survived by adapting, not the one that stayed quiet to keep peace, but the one that knows when something is aligned and when it isn't. This knowing doesn't rush you, it steadies you. You stop negotiating with feelings you already understand. You stop revisiting decisions that were made with clarity. You stop waiting for the past to explain itself. And life responds to that. Opportunities don't feel chaotic anymore. They feel measured. Conversations don't pull you off center. They reveal who belongs and who doesn't. You're no longer trying to hold everything together. You're choosing what deserves to stay. That choice changes your posture. You move with less tension. You speak with fewer explanations. You act from intention instead of impulse. You notice how your body reacts when something is right. Ease instead of pressure. Calm instead of urgency. Clarity instead of confusion. That's alignment. The things you once feared losing, no longer define your safety. The things you once chased no longer define your worth. You understand now that stability isn't built through control, it's built through self-trust. You trust your timing, you trust your limits, you trust your instincts, even when the outcome isn't fully visible yet. Because of that, the future doesn't feel threatening, it feels open. There will still be moments that test you, decisions that ask you to choose, situations that require patience, but they won't shake you the way they once did. You're no longer reacting from old patterns, you're responding from awareness. You know when to step forward, you know when to pause, you know when something costs too much and when something deserves your energy. That knowledge is quiet, but it's powerful. You don't need to announce this change. You don't need to justify it. You don't need permission to live this way. This phase didn't make you distant. It made you grounded. It didn't slow your life. It gave it direction. And from here, what comes next won't require you to abandon yourself to move forward. It will meet you where you are, clear, steady, and present. You're not behind. You didn't miss anything. You weren't meant to rush this part. You needed to become someone who could hold what's coming without losing yourself again. And now you can. This chapter closes quietly, but what opens next will recognize you immediately.